So it's the next day, the next morning. So you see the middle part from the last video. If you watched video 3, that's done. We haven't pressure washed it yet, but the guys are here early so that we can start getting the remaining parts ready to go. So right there, they're framing up where the shower's going. So all of our showers are 0 entry, which means there's no step up, nothing. It'll be flat with the concrete. Well, not flat because it'll angle back towards the drain, but you get the idea. They're cutting in the expansion joints or relief cuts, and they're using the backpack to blow off the excess release agent. That stuff gets pretty thick. I did it one time. I used a respirator. A couple people mentioned why they don't, and whatever they want to do. This is fast footer. We have it left over from doing the pools. It's where you can actually fold it out. It comes from fab form and stapled up, and you pour your footings, and it's really cool. We're using it to divide between the new pours to keep mess off of the rest of the floor. They brought in the hose from the pump. A lot of people have asked. I've commented on it in every video, and I've responded to most comments. But the Mud Demon was here on loan. I had it for a long time due to some delays, other stuff going on, my surgery, all that stuff. We got some use out of it. We showed it. I love it. I plan to purchase one. We're working on that deal. Just so happened he needed the demo unit back for somebody else, and here we are. It's how time ran out, and sometimes that's how it goes. But yeah, I love it. Nothing bad to say about the Mud Demon. I highly recommend it. They're just prepping, and they're pumping out the prime to get ready. So you took it to the window, so it'll pump outside. You saw in the last video, I had to use a wheelbarrow, and let's go live. We will.
Starting.
Another day. Things pump operator back. That's good. Good. Hollywood's back. All those. Bring the vibrator down here.
All right,
so see they're starting to pump it on the floor. When I go live, it's pretty loud. This is a work site. There's concrete trucks, pumps running, so sorry about that. So moving along pretty well. You see, Jose will go around with the transit, and he takes it, and he's already got it set to what level the concrete's supposed to be. He'll smooth it out, and he'll put an X in it. That's for the guys to know what level they're supposed to be smoothing to. I show a close-up of that soon.
Closing in. Huh? Yeah. Uh-oh, the boss is here.
Did they ever give you this side? Is it done?
I doubt it's done. No, it's still got to set up some.
So which way are the stamps going?
Running this way.
Okay.
That way they'll be straight down the kitchenette. Is that what you're thinking?
Are you going to have another line here?
Yeah, it'll be straight through here. All right, you fix that. Jose! I don't know. Are you happy?
Is this done? Oh, yeah. It looks pretty straight. That's why I was like, it looked done. I'm not gonna lie. So
The thing to do is just stay away from the swirls, which I know you got to do some. But then if you just rake it straight, it could be a little bit and you don't see it. But the swirls you see.
yeah.
I'm gonna finish it by hand, and we're gonna do the same with the
Yeah.
first time we're gonna go back and do over that.
This turned out great. It
Yeah,
looked great.
Now they're taking the float and smoothing it out, and kind of what I was talking at the beginning of the video about to Jose, or maybe it's later on. Actually, it's later on. Anyway, What I'm talking about is that whenever you're going to stamp a floor, one thing that we learned upstairs that you really got to watch out for is the guys will take the trowel and or the float, the handheld float, magnesium float, and they'll smooth it, but they do it in a circle pattern. And if you don't get it perfectly smooth, that circle shows up in the floor. So you got to make sure that after they've done all that leveling and getting excess off and all that kind of stuff, that they take the float and smooth it back straight. So that came out because the concrete being poured where the shower is supposed to be poured down about an inch and a half, so it gives some space for the tile guys to build, however they want to do the floor of the shower. And some of that was lost in translation to the other guy that was doing the work, and he was filling it up. It's like, no, this needs to be down. So anyway, they took care of that, and now they're stamping it. So you see, they throw the release agent on it. You can get all kind of different colors of that, and they lay out the stamps. They got that big handheld deal that they smack into the stamp to put the impression in the top of the concrete. And there is a certain order this goes in. So it's got to be, they got to pick one up. And this is why you have to have enough stamps to do the area that you want to do. Because, I mean, if we couldn't get all the way down at least twice, then we'd be out of luck. It'd be a real big mess. So this is what we got to do. So they finished that up, and it's turning out pretty good. That kind of shows you a little bit more of the process and what they have to do. And these stamps are not light either; they're heavy.
There's the Deco-Crete stamps. So when you're laying it out, you can put that arrow near the line, and that shows you, so you can kind of help keep yourself laying them out. You good? Bueno? All right, so you just pulled that one up. So what'll happen is after it's pressure washed, the release, so like the grain and everything will still be the darker color, and then everything else will be the lighter color, and then we'll clear it and make it a little shiny, and there you go.
Kind of going back in time, it's earlier that morning because we filmed both sides. I didn't want to jump back and forth left to right the whole video. So this is back before we start in the morning, but it's the other side. So it shows you can see the dust on the floor where they've cut the expansion joints in, and they're going over there. They're cutting the expansion joints in where we did the compass in the floor of the wine cellar or the wine room. And they're over here doing the same thing again. They're getting this prep. There's a little bit of extra concrete where the next floor is going to start. So cutting that out, going around with the transit, making sure all their chalk lines for the level they got to come up to are set on the walls. Everybody's busy. Nobody's standing around. It's there's plenty to do. So everyone's got their job and they're doing it. So they're blowing out. There goes all that dust again. It's crazy. So they're blowing some of that out. There you go. That kind of shows you about how dark it gets. It's crazy. And we got big fans blowing this out. And we end up later, I didn't get on film, but we have to pressure wash the edges of the pools. I mean, it got everywhere. But I'm running the waterfall, dumping it into the lower pool, and then skimming it out. Any that gets in there. This is a non-toxic stuff, but still, I don't think you want to breathe much of that in. You want to avoid that if you can. Got the big fan going, getting it all out of there, carrying off the stamp that we use for the compass, rolling the fast foot back out, do the same thing, kind of split that off. So we have a little protection for splatter and everything because, concrete goes everywhere. Then they start bringing the stamps over, so they'll be ready on that side too. They put it over top of where we did the compass also. Guys are very thorough. Not a lot of standing around wondering what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, like I said, everybody's has their part. All right, so now the pump's on this side, starting to pump the concrete in here. So probably while this is going on the other side, you've got the guys doing the float and all that stuff that we've already shown. This way you have to have the right size crew also. Oh, we must be waiting on another truck. Yeah, definitely waiting on another truck. All right, so truck's here. Concrete Supplies really gotten their stuff together. They realized that they needed more trucks. They bought another company out. Mentioned that in the last video, I think. Argos, those yellow trucks, and it's really been helping us out because they've got a plant now that's really close. All right, think we're about to go live. Let's see what it's looking like. Time to bring the float back, and they'll figure out, anywhere they need to add a little bit or take a little bit away. I don't know if they'll do it on this side, but they showed on the other side. You'll see the guys have those little metal deals they put their knees in, and they can kind of go across it and get the spots that they need to. All right, so now they let it set up a little bit. Now running the float again. So all the things, and I never used to think about this, of course, but the weather plays a huge role. What's the humidity? How cold is it? How hot is it? Are you getting direct sunlight? Not. All that matters to the mix that you want to order for your pour. And if you want to do any additives, like on upstairs, we added in a hydration, and then there's a percentage of that you can do, which makes it take longer to set up. Because we were in that direct sunlight, and it was like almost right at it was 99 degrees. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside. A lot of float work to get this thing ready for the stamp. Bring Jackie out and let her see it. Give her stamp of approval before the stamps go on. Still waiting for it to set up. She's looking at it. I can't remember if she's complaining or not. Might be. Looks like I was filming, so maybe you're going to get to hear what she said.
Oh, look at that. Yes! Woo-hoo! All right, what do you think?
I love the floor so far. I can't wait to see it when they actually finish doing everything today and tomorrow and the team. But I really, it came out beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what this looks like. So far,
So far, so good?
it looks good. I know they still have to come around a couple more times to smooth it out. But
Right.
yeah, it's nice to see like a floor.
Right? Isn't it great? And look, it doesn't feel too short in here.
No. Yeah. Ooh, I want to get out now.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna get dusted. All right. Well, that's what I need to hear. She approved. So after we press wash tomorrow, you see the color. I'm getting ready to run her back to the house. I'm gonna show you the sidewalk up there. It's gonna be pretty much that color down here.
That's why we chose it. Woo-hoo.
See, they did the sidewalk. This is that stone Castle rock stamp that we used on the back porch, but this is no color added to the concrete and just the antique release thrown on there.
That'll look really beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
They're looking to see if they think it's ready. There's those things I was talking about that they can scoop themselves, see them over on the side. Get into little areas that need to have some more work done to them. See how it's kind of a half circle. So go back over that. All right. Jumped into throwing the release agent on and stamping this side. Should have asked them. I wonder if each person is assigned a stamp so they know which order to go in without having to look at them. Then when you get against something like that corner back there or in the pole, I probably can't see it from here, but the guy will have it's um it's a little piece that Deco-Crete gives you that has some of the texture on it. So like when you get close to the wall, of course, there's going to be a little bit left, or like I said, around the columns, and you can stamp there so you don't notice it. Yeah, he's stamping around the column now with that little piece I'm talking about. It's just a thin piece of the stamp, basically, with some of the texture on it, so it blends in. You don't realize that you ran out of stamp there, couldn't fit a stamp. This stuff washes off of you pretty easy, but it gets on everything. So whenever you're doing this, like I've still got the leftover foam in the bag. I mean, it's wrapped up, but I mean, it's all over the packaging and everything. When we were stacking the basement and we started on the next floor, everybody asked, why didn't you do the basement? Why aren't you supposed to pour the concrete now? I don't know if I would have done it any differently after doing it. I mean, my thought was that I didn't want a bunch of crap falling down on here and having to cover it all up the whole time as we were working up top. But obviously, it would have been easier to bring in a pump truck, a boom truck from up top. And we would have had concrete to work off of the whole time instead of walking on the gravel. But there were things like the plumbing getting done. I was able to push that off for a while. We made some changes. So that would have been a nightmare. So I'm glad I did it this way overall. But I could see where having the concrete to work off of would have been nice as well. Wrapping up the stamps. This isn't up being 40 yards. It's 20. No, it was 20 yards. right? 2 trucks. Yeah, that was it. It was 2 trucks. A truck aside. No, that don't make sense. That would have been 10 yards. But we didn't do 80 yards total. I don't even remember. I think it was 20 yards. 10 yards aside. Huh, wasn't bad.
How happy are you on a scale 1 to 10 that we're done with concrete for a while? 8? Yeah, I like that. Let's see. How about you, Bob? Yeah. Life's rough, ain't it? Here, you need to get some sun. I'll set you up.
Hey, look pale.
Right? You're looking a little pale, buddy. We're going to set you up. There you go. Got the waterfall running because some of that dust comes out here. Got to pressure wash anyway, but then it'll go into the lower pool where I can clean a little easier. That's just like having a huge skimmer. It's great. You don't have to worry about much of nothing up here in this pool. I've set up another channel. There's no content on it yet. We're still getting everything ready. Probably be about 30 days before we do our first video. But it is strictly like a talk show, like talking, doing, yeah, like a podcast basically. Just, you know, talking, answering questions. Some stuff will be in reference to what was going on in these videos, and but it's called Beely Unfiltered. It'll be a little more raw, you know, PG-13 R, you know, a little more just saying how it is, maybe talking about whatever's happening that week or all kinds of topics. Well, it's going to have a mind of its own, but it's just different from the channels we want to set up separate, and that'll be coming out. So if you get a chance, go check that out. I'll put a link. Go ahead and subscribe so when we go live, you'll be ready to get that content. But I do feel like I'll do a live to talk about this whole process as far as the concrete goes. A lot of people have asked things, and I keep pushing it off until we're closer. But I think we've done enough concrete now. 603 yards. Is that what you, or 13? 700 yards. Over 700 yards. When we first started this, I think I estimated 650. And we still got the driveway and out here to go. So, yeah. I mean, we're going to be 1,000 yards.
Could have made the entire barn out of solid.
Like a block?
Yeah.
Like a Minecraft
It's
block?
a solid block.
Solid block of concrete. Hey, look at that. All right, well, appreciate. All right, this side is done. You see a little bit different from where we've blown it out already, versus this being fresh today and how much will show up on camera. Hey, Carlos,
Yeah,
what was that, a piece of tape?
yeah.
Okay.
I get it out.
It's okay. Yeah, it'd be out.
This is the next morning, so the pour's done. They're out here. This is like 5:15 in the morning. The guys like to get started early, which is fine by me because I'm usually up and, you know, beat the heat. So they're cutting in the relief joints for what got poured yesterday, you know, the rest of it. And so what they'll do is, this looks like wood plank. So along the side of the wood plank, they'll just cut with the big saw. And then when you go across, they'll cut with the little cutoff wheel so that they can kind of follow the pattern so you don't just see a big ugly strike. We'll see how it works out. See, they're going to blow it out. So we're going to get all dusty again. All right, the pressure washing has started. So that's exciting. Get all this release agent and everything off. Hindsight, you know, you'll see it turns out really great. But there is a little bit of difference between the left side and the middle with the look. But there's, like I said, there's wall that runs down that part separating it, and you know, there's obviously broken up rooms inside that area too. So it's not noticeable, you know, once all that's up. But in case you're watching and planning your own, and you know, you might have a different situation than me, but I would say any area that's going to be one big area you want to pour at the same time, because you're going to get differences in the mix or something a little bit, and you know, there's going to be some slight color variations. Just plan accordingly. Okay, he's got one guy running the backpack and the other one's running the pressure washer. Get the water out and everything. All right, so I'm going to speed the rest of the time lapse up, probably about 800, about 8 times, just as 800%. Just so you can kind of see the water dry. It's kind of cool, but as they'll go and finish this off, because it's just the same thing for a while. And next up will be showing Jackie the finished product and showing you guys. All right, all done. We got a massive rainstorm last night, and of course we don't have a roof on here yet, and we got a big hole where the stairwell is, and et cetera, et cetera. So we got some water. Oh, and we got all of our, our little vents. So water comes in those, but that's okay. Jose and the guys got it sealed yesterday. Yeah, so we're pretty good. We're happy with this. The upstairs, we've got some texture enhancer, some liquid texture enhancer from Deco-Crete, because Jackie wants to darken it up a little bit before we seal it up there. But yeah, this is great. It's a basement. And yeah, we're happy. So if everything goes as planned, the framing over here will start in a couple weeks. I would say probably actually 3. That's how much longer my framing crew has over at the major project, getting that framed up. You should have seen the videos of that. Well, I know you have. Those have been out. So the main house is all framed up. There's punch list stuff to do. And then they're framing the game building starting next week. So that will be, he said 2 weeks. It's really probably about 10 days, but close enough. So we'll see. All the concrete in the house is complete. And so all that's left is out here doing we got to pour so we can put the travertine on top, put in the drains and everything, and the driveway. And that's it. I think I said it earlier, we're about 700 and a little over 700 yards at this point. Learned a lot. We will be discussing what I learned, which will be beneficial for anyone that just has an interest in it or is doing their own concrete. Or, maybe I learned something if you're already doing concrete but just started out, they picked up. The guys at the pros will probably just nod their head and be like, yeah, dummy, that's exactly right. But I need to take a break. That's what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if I showed the compass yesterday when I was filming, so let me get some footage of that just in case. There's only one light in here, so you can't really see it. But yeah. So what we did in here is we just did the pattern stamp around it. This gets wine racks, so come out to like here, so it covers a lot of it. So that's why we, the stamp will seem obviously larger. We're going to acid stain the letters for the directions, the north, south, west, east, and probably do something in the star, But Deco-Crete said to let that set up for about a month before we do that, so that's the plan there. Racks go there, blah, 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 and I'm walking on water. Squeegee a lot of it out, but it'll dry out. And once we have a roof on it, we won't have that issue anymore. Hopefully, because that'll be a big problem, right? Went ahead and poured this for the steps, so Casey can form those up. We can get this really going, get all this up. The steel that we need to go over the lintels over the windows that's going to be in probably sometime this week. So I think Casey will be back here probably midweek, and he should be rolling around and get the whole thing bricked up. All right, see you on the next one.